Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, July 20th, 2012. Broadcasting again from London. There's 7 days to go until the Olympics begin. And it's reaching a fever pitch here. Plane load after plane load, packed with people are arriving at Heathrow. You can't go anywhere here without seeing notices about the upcoming games and many tourists coming in. Over 3 million people are expected. They're also reporting that the weather will eventually turn good here. That means a little bit bright. In the United States right now, there's a big story going on. 14 people have been killed at a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado. 50 have been wounded. This is at a midnight showing of the new Batman movie. Apparently a gun was involved, obviously, and a smoke bomb, and the theater doors were apparently locked while the killing was going on. There's not too much information on it yet. Everest Re has announced that once again it seems that Joe Taranto, the longtime CEO, is delaying his retirement. This time he is pushing it off until the end of 2013, but he has named a successor. The successor is Dominic Adesso, who used to be at Munich Re. Mr. Adesso is currently the president of Everest. It seems that in Damascus, Syria, the intelligence chief, who was gravely wounded in the attack that killed the defense minister and President Assad's brother-in-law, succumbed to wounds earlier today that he received in that bombing. New Zealand's government insurer, the Civic Assurance Company, is apparently, according to AM Best, facing a potential dispute with its reinsurers over as much as $561 billion of claims relating to the February 22nd, 2011 earthquake. If this is true, this could really roil the market because that was one of the big Asian claims in addition to the Thai floods, the Japanese earthquake, and the Australian floods. It also seems that the U.S. Midwest drought is now the worst drought since 1956. Corn futures and wheat futures are being seriously affected on the Chicago Commodities Exchange. Also, the United States Weather Service very helpfully came out with a report indicating that the drought will most likely continue deep into the fall. Also, it seems as if there was another earthquake in Victoria, Australia. This was a 4.3 aftershock. It struck about 20 miles away from where the 5.4 large earthquake was about 3 weeks ago. There have been no reports of any damage or injuries. And there's a big story that's making a lot of news right now. Microsoft reported its first loss ever for the quarter as a publicly traded company. Bear a couple of things in mind. Back in 2007, Microsoft paid $6.3 billion for a company called Quantitative. It's a web advertising company caught up in the hysteria of wanting to compete against Google. Microsoft purchased the company. Well, when they made their quarterly announcements, they announced that they were going to write down $6.2 billion of that purchase. That's a lot of money to write off in any quarter for any company. However, Microsoft's revenue is at an all-time high. It grew year on year after adjustments by 7%, and the company has a considerable war chest facing the future. That's the news for today. We'll be reporting on Monday back in the United States, and I appreciate your patience. If we have any breaking news or any updates on the Colorado story, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you on Monday from New Jersey.